Welcome, teachers. If you've been dreaming of a classroom where every single student is truly engaged and excited to learn, well, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're diving into an absolutely essential topic: educational psychology. Think of this as your ultimate teacher's toolkit. We all know teaching is no easy job, right? But with these concepts in your back pocket, you can definitely make your teaching style more effective and, honestly, a lot easier on yourself. So, without any further ado, let's jump right in. Let's quickly take a look at our agenda for today. Number 1, Introduction to Educational Psychology. Number 2, 4 major learning theories. Then number 3, individual student differences. And finally, number 4, motivation and basic needs. Section 1, Introduction to Educational Psychology, the basics. Let's set the stage and figure out what exactly we're talking about here. So what exactly is educational psychology? Basically, it's the study of how people learn. It focuses entirely on teaching methods, instructional processes, and the different ways individual students absorb information. In simple terms, it's the science that tells you how your students' minds actually process knowledge in the classroom and how you can adapt your teaching to fit them perfectly. Now, this comparison is pretty fascinating. On the left side, we have general psychology. That's the broad study of the general human mind and behavior. But take a look at the right side. Educational psychology takes that knowledge and applies it specifically to your classroom, your teaching, and your students' learning. So it's not about the outside world, it's purely the science of your school environment, a real game changer for us teachers. Moving right along to Section 2, 4 major learning theories, how students learn. Now that we've got the basics down, let's explore how kids actually acquire knowledge. Okay, so here are the big 4 theories: behaviorism, cognitism, constructivism, and humanism. These 4 terms are essentially your practical classroom tools. Each theory gives you a totally unique approach to handling students. Let's break them down with some super easy examples. First up is behaviorism. Put simply, learning here is shaped by external rewards and consequences, meaning a child learns through prizes or punishments. For example, imagine a student brings in their homework on time and you give them a star sticker on their notebook. That's a reward. They're going to want to do it again just for that feeling. You're literally shaping their behavior with an external reward. Make sense? Next, we have cognitivism. This theory tells us that learning isn't just about getting a reward. It's heavily based on internal mental processes, like thinking, memory, and problem solving. The best example of this? When you ask your students to draw a mind map on the board before writing an essay. They're actively organizing their thoughts. You are naturally engaging their minds, their cognition, to get the job done. The third theory is constructivism. Just like the name implies, this says that kids actively construct or build their own knowledge from hands-on experiences. The absolutely crucial point here is that the student is active. Think of a science fair project. When a child physically builds a papier-mâché volcano and pours in baking soda to watch it erupt, they aren't just listening to you talk about it. They are literally learning by doing. And our fourth big theory is humanism. This approach looks at the child as a whole person, where their emotions and self-esteem are top priorities. You know, when you create an emotionally safe environment in your classroom, a place where every child feels heard and respected, that's when they learn best. Because, let's be honest, a scared or anxious child is never going to be an optimal learner. So after looking at all 4 of these amazing theories, a question has probably popped into your head. But why does every child learn differently? I mean, it's the same classroom, the same teacher, so why is every kid's result and learning style so completely different? Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, individual student differences, recognizing uniqueness. That very question leads us to look at the unique traits every single student brings to the table. The simple answer is individual differences. This just means that every student has their own unique pace, learning style, and background. Some kids pick things up at lightning speed, while others might need a little extra time or a totally different method. The big takeaway here? In teaching, a one-size-fits-all approach simply doesn't work. As educators, we have to recognize and embrace these differences. Finally, we arrive at Section 4, motivation and basic needs, fueling the desire to learn. This last part is all about figuring out what exactly fuels a child's internal drive to study. You see, a student's motivation doesn't just start and end at the classroom door. As you can see in this table, their home life and family support play a massive role. Then comes school, where your encouragement as a teacher has a huge impact. And finally, the community.
If a child feels safe in their surrounding environment, only then can they fully focus on their education. It's like a giant puzzle, and every piece matters.
But hold on. Before any of that can happen, a child's basic needs must be met. I'm talking about physical needs, like food and rest, safety needs, meaning they feel secure, and emotional needs, like feeling they belong. The crucial point is this. If a student is hungry or didn't sleep well the night before, there is literally no way they can physically focus on your math lesson. We have to make sure these basic needs are met first. Only then do the learning theories even stand a chance.
And with that, we've reached the end of our Educational Toolkit Explainer today. But before you go, I want to leave you with one small yet very powerful question to think about. As a teacher, which of these concepts will you apply in your classroom tomorrow? Will you hand out more star stickers, try building some new mind maps, or maybe focus a bit more on understanding their basic needs? Try testing out these psychological tools and just watch the difference it makes in your class. I hope you found this explainer helpful. Happy teaching and see you next time.